Okay, so as you guys can see right now, I am doing a fives match. I am on a team by myself. I have someone spectating me. But other than that, all my teammates are dead right now, so I am pretty much just trying to survive myself and get as far as I can without dying, etc. So let's get right into the game! I kind of want to talk about a few things, mainly because I am on H1Z1 at the moment, and I have not, I'm not going to say that I haven't been playing H1Z1 because I have been. Definitely since Shotties and Snipers is up right now, and it's like, in the time to do that. So I've been playing a lot of Shotties and Snipers. You know what I mean? I just have been. And one thing I want to talk about Shotties and Snipers is, like, I love the fact that you get to practice with the sniper and you get that gameplay of not only close range gameplay, but also long range gameplay. And it only comes out on the weekend, so you only get a couple days to play it when it comes out. You know what I mean? So it's not like you get forever. So when you do get the opportunity to play it, you honestly should take every that advantage you can. You should take the advantage to play it whenever you can. Clearly, not necessarily worried about that right now because I do have footage from Charlies and Snipers. One thing I did want to talk about, though, is Monday or Tuesday of the upcoming week, I am wanting to upload like a Shotties and Snipers video. Now, I'm kind of wanting to make it like a commentary, like a longer commentary video as well, like I'm trying to make a longer commentary video as well as where you see kills and some type of action gameplay when I did get when I got those clips in the game. That's just kind of how I'm focusing on that particular, on H1Z1 Shotties and Sniper right now. Now, to what I really want to talk about, this has nothing to do with H1Z1 or any other game. This has to do with the game called Player Unknown's Battlegrounds, okay? I've uploaded a video now on Battlegrounds, and I know it wasn't anything amazing, but I did do a commentary over it, it was like pretty much a live call. Like I was playing while doing what I'm doing right now, like I'm talking and playing at the same time instead of recording a video and then talking over it in the future. So I'm doing it right now with you guys, and that's kind of how it was that's how it's going to be on most of my 95% of my videos. It's going to be where I'm talking while I'm doing it. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking while I'm doing my commentary. Or I'm playing while I'm doing my commentary. I just want you guys to understand that's just how it'll probably be from now on. You know what I mean? Now, another thing I want to talk about is Battlegrounds itself. Okay? The Battlegrounds game I am loving right now, and I am enjoying tremendously for many, 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 many different reasons. Okay? For one, yes, I've been playing H1Z1 a lot, so it is always nice to be able to jump on a different style game, but has the same style just in a different way. I don't know if that makes sense. Just like H1Z1 is a survival game, it has the gas, right? Battlegrounds is a survival game, but has a lot more strategy style to it, but also has where you got to get in the safe zones. So yes, we can sit here and we can do a compare and a contrast, and we can compare the game. We can, say the difference of the game, but I'm not going to do that because playing the game, common sense, you can tell what the differences and the similarities are in between the games. Clearly, the gameplay style is a lot different, but at the same time, it's a lot of the same. Just like how there's, the different lobbies you can get in solo, duos, or squads. Whereas in squads would be your fives on here, but instead on there, it's only 4 people per team instead of 5 people per team. So, I mean, there's a lot of similarities and differences. The difference is that there's more similarities. There's almost everything is similar to each other, just there's differences in between the similarities. You know what I mean? So, there's just a lot of different things that go on. I just feel like Battlegrounds, though, is a lot more of a strategy game as well as, like, you gotta be able to do things right on that game and be able to prove to yourself and to your teammates that you're good enough to play that game. Because I'm telling you, that game has so many different things. It's unreal. You can come on here, right? You pick up an AR-15 and the ammo. You're fine. You're fine. But listen, that's all you gotta do. You pick up the AR-15 or you pick up your shotgun or your AK-47, whatever gun you pick up. You pick it up, you're ready to shoot. There's no point, there's nothing else you can pick up for that gun. Whereas on Battlegrounds actually has different attachments, such as they have like quick mag attachments where you reload faster. They have scopes. They have red dot sights. They have like 2x scopes, 4x, 6x, 8x scopes. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of different things that you can find on Battlegrounds for your gun instead of just picking up the gun. Yes, of course, you can pick up the gun, pick up your ammo on Battlegrounds, and be ready to shoot. But the difference is the reticles on that game are whatever gun you pick up, that's the reticle you get that comes with that gun, right? Whereas if you pick up a scope, then you can pick up, then you can use the scope for that matter. But one thing that is very, very different for me to be able to understand on the game is the fact that, like, with H1Z1, you pick up a gun, you're ready to go. And with Battlegrounds, you pick up a gun, but you want those attachments because they make the gun that much better and that much easier for you to use. You know what I mean? They do. When you have a scope, it is so much easier to shoot someone rather than just being able to shoot them with your normal sight. Like, you see that red circle right there? Like, if I had a gun out, okay, such as right now, and I'm aiming, right, just like that. That's all you see, right? And yes, you can do it like that on Battlegrounds, but if you got a scope, you might as well, be able to use your scope. So that way, if you do have a certain zoom scope, you can zoom in as far as possible, or not zoom in as far as possible, but it zooms in very far to where you have those, those standards that you can use in the game. Whereas in some references on Battleground, though, one thing that I've always had a problem with. Now, when you are used to aiming on a game, and I want you to comment below, when you are usually aiming on a game, you usually hold down your right mouse button while you are shooting. If that is a yes or no, please comment below. Yes, I aim while holding down my right trigger, my right button, like whatever aiming button you have. Do you hold it the whole entire time while you are shooting? Or do you just click it? Okay? Whatever whatever you do below, please comment whether you just click it and it sights in or whether you are used to holding the aim button. You know what I mean? Please comment below because I would really love to know what people say. Now, here's the thing. H1Z1, this is kind of where that aiming thing comes into play. On H1Z1, when you aim, you have to hold the aiming trigger down. Wherever your aim trigger is, you have to hold that button down for it to stay aimed. If you don't, the zooming will come out. Now, with Battlegrounds, if you just click the button and you have a scope, if you have a scope, you aim into the scope. If you don't have a scope, it will look like this. Okay, I'm going to show you guys real quick. When you don't have a scope, this is what it looks like when you aim it. It'll look like that when you just click the button. Now, if you're sitting here aiming in, okay, this is what it's going to look like. It's going to look like that, okay, which is what some people are probably used to. But if you have a scope, it's going to look like this. You know what I mean? Now, if you don't have a scope, if you click the button, it's going to look like that. But if you just hold it, it's going to look like this the whole time that you hold it in Battlegrounds. So I feel like they need to change that up to where I can hold my button, and if I have a scope attached, it zooms into the scope when I hold my button. Not I click it and then let go of it. Because not only is that weird for me just to click it and then I don't have to worry about it till I want to stop aiming in. So once you're done once you're done aiming, you can just click it again and then it'll come out of the scope. Which I understand kind of what they're trying to do. They're trying to make different like aiming ways or whatever the case may be, like different ways you can aim just by clicking it or even by holding it down. Like there's two different ways you can aim, as well as two different perspectives that you can aim in. There's a first person and a third person, and then you can aim like two different ways. You know what I mean? And I just feel like if I had a scope on my gun, I want it to zoom into the scope whether I hold the button down or not. You know what I mean? I don't want to come up on a fight knowing that my scope is going to come up, and then when I go and I hold down the button, this is what happens instead of this. You know what I mean? Instead of going to my scope, it looks like this when I aim it. And that is something that I feel like will mess up a lot of people who don't realize that. When you just click the button, it goes into this setting right here, or your scope settings. But if you just, that's only if you click it. Now, if you hold it down, it's going to look like this. You know what I mean? So that's something you got to realize on Battlegrounds, is that when you're playing the game, there's going to be a lot of differences from different Battle Royale games that you're used to playing. And the aiming settings is one thing that I do feel like needs to be switched as soon as possible for several different reasons, not just for the game, but for the players itself. Because it's really weird when I go in there to aim in and I click the button and it goes into my scope, and then I don't have to worry about clicking it again, which I understand kind of makes it a little bit easier, because then all I gotta do is worry about where I'm shooting at, because I got my aim button down, so I don't have to hold it. But I'm used to holding down my aim button, which kind of gives me a little more control on my mouse as well, because I'm holding it down, so I'm kind of, tightened and frightened up, instead of only having to click it, and then I'm sitting there with my trigger just, I can shoot whenever. Do you get what I'm saying? It just makes, I just feel like it's really different, and it's weird in a way to have the settings like that when they know what people are used to playing like. Now, I don't know if this is what they did, or if this is something that the game did itself, but I do feel like it needs to be fixed. If they do plan on keeping it, I do understand that people will get used to it, and that's just something we'll have to get used to. But, I mean, I do like it, the fact that you can use two different slidings, but at the same time, when it comes to that do or death situation, and I sit there and hold the button, and I'm wanting to go into my scope, and it don't go into my scope because of the fact that, because of the fact that that's just not the way the game is. It's not like you can't change it in your settings, where if I hold the button down, it's going to go in my scope. Where if I click the button, it's going to go into my scope. You can't change it. That's just the way the game is. If you equip a scope, yes, you're going to go into your scope if you click it. But if you don't click it and hold it down, you're going to go into this setting right here. It's going to look like this the whole time you're aiming. What's the point of doing that when you have a scope that can aim, 100 plus feet down the thing and to be able to see perfectly? You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense to me. And I feel like they need to fix that in Battlegrounds really fast before a lot of people start complaining about it. Now, I do feel like this game has taken over H1Z1 in a ways, because yes, H1Z1 is more of a complete game, but at the same time, H1Z1 has gotten, I don't know, it just feels like Battlegrounds is coming out so much that it's just going to be a way bigger and way better game than H1Z1. Like, once H1Z1 fully finishes their game and comes out with it, and then Battlegrounds finish theirs game and comes out with it, Battlegrounds is going to blow it off the map. I already know, and everybody already knows that, because that's all we've been talking about here lately, is how, H1Z1 is, one of the best Battle Royale games out there right now. But the fact of the matter is the creator that created H1Z1 is now creating Battlegrounds. So he knows what player wants because of the feedback that he got on his old, creating on H1Z1. So he knows what people want in the game. He knows the type of gameplay people want, the type of settings, everything. He knows what they want, but he also knows what he wants because he's the creator. You know what I mean? So yes, he is trying to get our feedback as much as he can and to relate to what we want for our perfect game. But he also wants his perfect game because he's the one putting in the hours, putting in the time for us to be able to play that particular game. And I completely understand that. And I give props to you, bro. You have made, and all the other people, you guys have made an amazing game on Battlegrounds. It is an amazing game that has only been in production for not that long. So the fact that it has not been in production for that long just shows how qualified and special all those people are that are working on Battlegrounds right now to make it better, to fix the glitches, to fix, hit registration, FPS problems, anything on the game. They are there to fix it. And as of right now, with only 9 months of the game being made and the game only being out for 3 months, and not that many people complaining, or maybe many people complaining about the same things. That's the thing, is on Battlegrounds, people are complaining about the same type of things. On H1Z1, people were complaining about all kinds of different things. So when you can fix certain things that people are mad about or want fixed, and they're all talking about that one subject, then yes, of course, you can fix that. You can figure out ways to, fix it for the players. But where you got people saying, oh, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, and it's all different things, then that's where it becomes a point where, okay, like, we're going to have to work on one thing at a time because we don't have enough time and we don't have enough employees or whatever the equipment, whatever the case may be, to fix all those problems at once. And that's kind of what games run into, is you got either players being mad at certain problems, or you got players being mad because something on their side of the game isn't working. You could have 100 different problems with 100 different players on one game, but you could have 200 players that only have 5 different problems, and yeah, you could fix those 5 different problems. But on that other game, of course, there's always problems with any game, and any game always have to go through changes. Even when the game fully comes out, there's always bugs or glitches, etc., wherever the case may be. And clearly, once the game comes out, once Battleground comes out, that game is going to be in the top tip shape that it's all that we knew it was going to be the minute we stepped foot on the ground in the game. That's when we knew that game was going to be amazing, honestly. And I love Battlegrounds, and I think I will play Battlegrounds, as long as it's there, and as long as I can, I will be playing Battlegrounds, and I will also be playing H1Z1. Mainly because I started on H1Z1, I'm more familiar with the game. But as Battlegrounds progresses, and the more that I play, and the better that I get, and etc., that's the game that I will probably most likely be playing more, because I like the strategies. I like the strategical size more. I like the tactical, game type more. It's that. It's completely tactical and strategical. No matter if you're playing in solo, duos, or fives, it's all the same way, kind of, Although if you're playing solo, it's going to be a little bit different than when you're playing fives, but it's based around the same type of gameplay, based around the same type of settings, etc. So, I love it, honestly. I love Battlegrounds, and I do give it a 5 stars up, just like I give H1Z1 a 5 stars up, because even though I didn't play H1Z1 when it first came out, or when it was just a single game, but when I did buy King of the Kill, I'd always seen all these YouTubers, and that's the thing. You see all the YouTubers playing these games, and they're doing so badass at it. You're just like, God, I want that game so bad. And then you finally get it, and then you start to see the problems that the game has that, those YouTubers never told you was wrong with it. You know what I mean? They just told you, how the game's so amazing and blow this and that and this and that. That's just how it works, right? Whereas in, with the games that are coming out nowadays, they're so freaking franchised and public that it's incredible. You know what I mean? It honestly is incredible. The things that happen on these games nowadays, I love it. I think I'm going to try to go for that crate. There's 2 teams. To take away my team, it'd be 1 team with 4 people. So that means there's 2 teams with at least 2 people per team. If not 1 team with 3 people, and then 2 teams with 1 person. It could be any of those, things that I'm saying right now. Okay, so 3 teams, 4 people. So yeah, that's okay. So 3 teams. Okay, so there's 2. It's 2v1 right now. That's what it is. 2v1. I'm gonna die, and that's okay. I don't care if I die, because I'm just trying to do a commentary right now, honestly. I'm just trying to explain kind of the similarities and differences between Battlegrounds and H1Z1 and how I feel one's better than the other, etc. You know what I mean? That's just how I am right now. It's just how I feel, honestly. I'm gonna go over here and try to get this crate, because there is nobody over here, bro. Like, I saw this crate drop. Fuck you, bro. You're not careful, clearly. You suck, donkey dick. You suck a dick, donkey dick. Anyways, though, this has been your boy Kavan. I hope you guys enjoy this H1Z1 commentary. And if you guys did not get to see my previous video, I will leave the link in the description. Other than that, this has been your boy Kavan. Peace out.